Okay, nice to see everyone. I'm just going to do a couple of opening comments and then I'll have my colleagues jump in here. I took this job about 3 years ago. Aspirationally, I had a vision to take the conference globally. I think today's game is a launch of that vision. It's the first time we've had a conference game internationally. I got here on Thursday and it's my first time in Dublin, and obviously to experience, an international game. And the city here has really embraced not only our fans, but this game at such a high level, exceeding my expectations. But I don't think it's just the city of Dublin, it's the whole country has rallied around this game. The game of football obviously is a global game. We are honored, really, and excited to be here to bring our product, the Big 12 product, to Ireland. This won't be our first time. We'll be back next year with TCU. I also feel that globally, we have a chance to win as a conference. And I've been advocating for us to raise our flag wherever we can. So I don't think Ireland's our only stop. I think there's opportunities for us to go beyond Ireland. Potentially in football, but certainly in other sports as well. I also want to take a moment to thank our coaches. This was not an easy decision for them to come here, and they've embraced it, they have supported it, and I'm forever grateful. Also want to thank Gene and Jamie too. Again, a big effort to be here. And as well as the fans. The fans have shown up big time, again, exceeding my expectations. And I was talking to a couple of them today. I think there are more fans here than are just coming to the game. Jamie showed me a picture of his fan event last night, which was outstanding, and Gene, obviously, his fans here too. So just thrilled to be here, honored to be here, and looking forward to a great game. Thank you.
Questions?
Commissioner Yormark, you talked about seeing more in the future in international games. Is anything on your radar now, or just do you have a plan to implement to go beyond this game and build on it?
I don't think there's a plan in place, but I will tell you there are a lot of countries interested in bringing college football to their markets. There's probably not a week where we don't get a call or some kind of interest. I think what Ireland has done here is they have the blueprint. They've been at it for quite some time, and it's more than just a game. There's a lot more around the game, as you guys have probably experienced since you've been here. So I think it's going to take time for those markets to really understand it, and candidly to understand our expectations. When coming here first really raises the bar. So it'll be interesting where we go next, but I do think there are other markets we'll get to, and that'll really be a decision that the ADs have to make. Because there's the economics that are a part of this equation also that have to work.
Right, there's been so much discussion about how important perception is with the CFP and the Big 12. Having a top 25 game really kick off the college football season, how important can that be for the league this year?
Well, listen, I think being in week 0, kicking off the season on ESPN with this game, 2 ranked teams is phenomenal. And then, Kansas will play later in the day too, so we kind of own this week. So anyway, I think it's a big opportunity for us, big stage to be on. And all eyes are on the Big 12 today, obviously starting with this game, and I think that's an enviable position to be in.
This is for each of you. What are the advantages of being in the Big 12 conference right now versus other power conferences? Whoever wants to start.
Innovation. We're pushing the envelope. We're not looking at it as the industry's changing. You can either watch it change or you can evolve with it. And I think under Brett's leadership, he has not only embraced it, I think he's leading it.
Yeah, I would add that just the fact that as athletic directors, all 16 of us, it's been interesting, right? You went from, you lose a couple of schools, you had 4, you had 4 more. When we get in the room, we're all about how to make the Big 12 better. Not as opposed to just an individual school, but we really work together to continue with the innovation and push the conference as much as we can. And it's a fun room to be in. It's a good debate, there's good banter, but at the end of the day, we just want the best for the Big 12.
I'd also just add that, and I often say it for those that don't listen, there's never been a better time than right now to National Conference, 16 strong. We've added 8 schools in the last 2 years. So we're just finding our way in some respects. But our best days are ahead. You know, we're like a growth stock. And I'm very excited about our future, where we are. I love our position in football, basketball, Olympic sports. Again, a great time to be a part of this conference. Great group of ADs. We've got a board that wants to innovate, that wants to break boundaries, that wants to take calculated risks. It's a good time for this conference.
Commissioner, this is, I believe, the 108th year straight for this rivalry. It's one of the longest continuous streaks in college football. And yet the Big 12 will end it in 2027. Is there any chance of revisiting that? Because rivalries are a sales point for TV, and this one will end in that year.
It's been a great rivalry, and I agree with you. Rivalries matter, and the TV partners like those rivalries, but most importantly, the fans do. So I will defer, to the gentleman to my right and left to determine what those rivalries look like moving forward. But certainly, this is a classic, and I'm looking forward to today's game.
Well, the Big 12 schedule is what ended that rivalry.
But we have a working committee
Okay.
that works with our head of football and determining what that schedule looks like. And it was the committee's decision that certain things have to change moving forward.
If possible for both ADs, would you like this to be a protected rivalry in the future?
If you ask our fan base, yes, and I think there's a way to try to figure that out, where you don't, right now we just protected with KU, and you guys are with, I don't know who you have, but.
I didn't certainly want to protect it. One is, we were the
But I think for the fan
base.
bases, when we get back to talk about future scheduling, I think that's one of the conversations we have. Can we protect more than just one rivalry? And I think I'd certainly be in favor of that.
Yeah, I think, it's more complicated.
Yeah.
Because you can't give K-State 2 protected and everybody else has 1.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be a year where that's gonna be a huge advantage or a huge disadvantage. And so you've gotta keep things equitable. So it's not just a decision between K-State and Iowa State.
Yeah.
Because for us to agree to do that, then everybody else is gonna have to adjust accordingly. And, there's 16 votes, not 2.
For each athletic director, do you know how many of your fans are here in Ireland?
Well, our number was we're about the same, about 11,000, I think.
Right. It was very close to total sales, but it certainly feels more than that.
It does. It feels a lot more than that. 22,000 feels a lot more than that.
Yeah, I want to go back to, this is more than a game. And that's, to me, you can say that, but you feel it when you know it, you know it. And when we got over here, the number of our fans that are here that aren't even the fans that show up on a normal Saturday. This was an Iowa State University event, just like it's a K-State event that just ends with a football game. And what has gone on this week with our fan bases traveling over here, whether it was vacation and then the game, what took place over the last 2 days with all the academic and the economic symposiums. The game will be huge tonight, right? And it will matter to our fans. But the reality is, I've never been thanked so many times by our fans over the last several days for us being part of this, because it's been absolutely amazing. I've done this 20-some years as AD.
It's a lot nicer than the emails I got when we announced the game.
But I've done this 20 years. We both have had the opportunity to do some really, really cool things.
This is right up there.
To me, this is number one. I told our fans last night at that pep rally on that stage, I've never ever felt that or seen something like that. And it's awesome. But it's a credit to what Ireland has done. They didn't just say that it's gonna be a football game. They've embraced it, they've invested in it. And that's what makes it more than a game.
Yeah, Jamie and I were sitting there at lunch yesterday, at the CEO luncheon, and we were talking about this particular thing, that it's much more than a game. And when these players come in with an expectation of how things should run, whether it's a home game or a normal road game, they walk in here and it's run as well as any game I've ever been a part of. And it goes to the hats off to a lot of trial and error over the years, I think, that have this game. I was obviously part of one way back in 1996 that they've come a long way since then. But I think with John Anthony and what he's done and the folks here in Dublin and Aer Lingus, the sponsor, what they put into this game, the players are going to walk out of here. Yes, they both want to win. But they're gonna walk out here looking back and say, that was an unbelievable life experience to be a part of.
I mean, the commissioner said, the blueprint's been set, but it's gonna be a challenge for others to match that blueprint, because you're not just gonna do it overnight. I mean, this has been an investment by this country, and, we're the beneficiaries of it this year, and it's awesome.
I was at the CEO luncheon with Jamie G yesterday, over 100 CEOs in that room, rallying around the sport, the engagement, the relationship between the U.S. and Ireland. I mean, there's so much at stake here, and they're building it, and they've done a heck of a job. They really have.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.